Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for waiting. Now, I would like to begin the morning program of the Near Future Prospects until 2050, the society created by EVs and the role of design. Final screening and award ceremony of the EV Mobility Design Contest for international students, organized by the Association for the Promotion of Electric Vehicles, APEV. My name is Miwa Araki, and I'm going to serve as the MP for this program. First, on behalf of the organizer, Nobuhiro Tajima, Chief Commissioner of APEV, is going to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the EV Mobility Design Contest for International Students 2017 Final Screening and Award Ceremony. I would like to say a few words on behalf of the organizer, and also I would like to give you a brief introduction of the APEV. At the beginning, I would like to say that our President Futake, he wished he could join here, but he is outside Japan on his business. So I would like to give you best regards. And so the program will continue until 4 p.m. It will be a long day with some breaks, and I appreciate your cooperation. And we, the APEV, as of October 21st, 2017, we have 79 official members and then 136 special members and also 43 supporting members. So in total, we have the members of 258 companies and organizations. And this is our activity policies. There are 4 pillars in our activity policies. So promotion of spontaneous and active activities of the members, reinforcing cooperation with other organizations and entities like national and local governments, and also JAMA and JSAE. And the third pillar is to reinforce publicity on the value of EVs inside and outside Japan. So these days, we see and hear about the EVs almost every day on TV and other medias, and then hopefully we are contributing to that. And Tokyo is going to host the 2020 Olympics and Paralympics Games, and then we hope to contribute to the community development through utilization of the EVs. And then this is our organization. We have Futake, our honorary chairman, and also Yokokawa, our chairman, who is here today, and myself, chief commissioner, and we have 7 commissioners. And then we have Hoshi as a counselor and Sato as auditor. And we also have advisors. They are experts in the industry. So this is the organization of APEV. So the design contest this year, I'm very happy to be able to hold this event with the help of many supporters like the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, and the University of Tokyo, and also JAMA. So I would like to thank all these supporters for helping us make this happen. Details will be provided later, but the screening committee, the head is Mr. Shiro Nakamura, and then also the jury members, as you see. And all the jury members, the members of the screening committee are here. And the executive committee, Toshio Yamashita, and also Hitoshi Arima. So they are representing the executive committee. And very famous, well-known people in the industry, so they will be serving as the members of our screening committee. And these are our sponsors. So sponsor companies for the first round: IHI Transport Machinery, NTN Corporation, Nissan Motor Corporation, Benesse Holdings, Honda R&D, Yamaha Motor Corporation, Renesas Electronics Corporation. And then the sponsor companies for the second round: Nori Inc. Car Design Academy, Tools International Corporation, Bosch Corporation, Marubeni Information Systems, and Mitsubishi Chemical Corporation. So we received sponsorship from these companies for the first and second round. And again, I would like to thank our sponsors for their generous support. So this is a global design contest. We have aimed to hold a global design contest, and then we have this time 96 teams from 34 schools, at almost the same level as the previous time. But if we look at the details, so there are 45 teams from 20 schools in Japan, and from other countries, we have 51 teams from 14 schools in 15 countries. So we received many entries from different parts of the world, and I'm very happy to say that now we, in reality, are the international global contest. And the 16 schools, 23 teams from 16 schools passed the first screening, 12 teams from 9 schools from Japan and 11 teams from 7 schools from 8 countries from outside Japan. And then if you look at the finalists, Japan, Philippines, they are from different countries. So we have teams representing a variety of schools and countries, which makes this contest a real international contest. And we held workshops, and many people learn about design through these workshops, and they won the honor to come here as finalists. So I think you see some familiar faces here, and I am looking forward to hearing their wonderful presentations. And these are awards. So we have an excellent award grand prize with a supplementary prize of 200,000 yen, and Minister of Economy, Trade, Industry Award with the supplementary prize of 100,000 yen, and the same prize will be provided to the Minister of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism Award. And we also receive sponsorship awards: NTN Award, Car Design Academy Award, Bosch Award, and Mitsubishi Chemical Award. So in addition to the screening committee members, these sponsors will also participate in the screening. So we called for the sponsor, call for the entry from January 19th this year, and then many people have made lots of efforts to make this final round happen. So I hope that the participants will confidently present the result of their work. So the contest final round will start shortly. I would like everyone here to show their support to the participants, and as an organizer, we hope that some of your ideas will be commercialized in the future. With that, I'd like to close my speech. Thank you very much. That was Nobuhiro Tajima, Chief Commissioner of APEV. Next, I would like to introduce the members of the screening committee, our award presenting sponsors, and the members of the executive committee. First, head of the screening committee, Mr. Shiro Nakamura, design consultant and CEO of Shiro Nakamura Design Associates. members of the steering committee, Mr. Akihiro Nagaya, Executive Officer and Chief General Manager of Design Center, Yamaha Motor Corporation. Mr. Ken Okuyama, Industrial Designer and CEO of Ken Okuyama Design. And Mr. Masayuki Shima, Senior Deputy Director General, Road Transport Bureau, Minister of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. Today, on behalf of Mr. Shima, we have Mr. Hidenobu Kubota, Director of the Environmental Policy Division of MLIT. Nobuhiro Tajima, Chief Commissioner of the APEC. Next, I would like to introduce other members of the steering committee who are not able to join today. Mr. Tadao Ando, Architect and Professor Emeritus at the University of Tokyo. Mr. Patrick Lequemont, Industrial Designer and ex-Senior Vice President of Corporate Design at Renault. Mr. Jan Pan, Vice President, Head of Design at Gwangju Automobile Group. Mr. Shigeaki Tanaka of Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. Next, I would like to introduce our award presenting sponsors. Mr. Eiichi Asano, Manager of Business Development Department, EV Module Division, NTN Corporation. Mr. Takeru Kyan, Director of Nori Inc. Mr. Yasuhiro Kobayashi, General Manager, HR Shared Service Japan, Human Resources, Bosch Corporation. Mr. Yoshihiro Aiso, General Manager, Automotive Solutions, Mitsubishi Chemical Corporation. I would like to ask the sponsors to present the sponsorship awards later. Lastly, I would like to introduce the members of the Executive Committee. Chairman of the Executive Committee, Toshio Yamashita, APEP Commissioner and CEO of Interrobank Design, Inc. Vice Chairman of the Executive Committee, Hitoshi Arima, APEP Commissioner and President of Arima Management Design Limited. Also, representing the committee, we have Hiroshi Yokokawa, Chairman of the APEP, joining us today. That is all. Thank you very much. Now I would like to explain the overview of the awards. Today, we are going to have presentations by 10 groups who have been selected through the first and second screening from among many works submitted from all over the world. Based on the presentations, winner of the 7 awards, namely the Excellent Award Grand Prize, Ministry of Economy Award, Ministry of Land Infrastructure Transport Award, NTN Award, Car Design Academy Award, Bosch Award, and Mitsubishi Chemical Award will be decided. After the presentations, we are going to have a panel discussion by the finalists during the final screening. And today, the groups participating from overseas are going to give their presentations in English. And please refer to the outline document distributed at the reception for the content of their presentations.
Let's hear their presentations. The first team is the Advanced Institute of Industrial Technology, ABIP. Could you come to the stage, please? So, let us present Advanced Institute of Industrial Technology, team, EBIP, Advanced. For this, is a proposal to 2030 last 1 mile, the auto driving services for the automobiles. The location is considered to be Futago Tamagawa and Kichijoji. We consider suburban core cities. In these areas, the distance between stations are different from the ones in urban areas. Normally, if you go over 500 meters, people tend to utilize the transportation vehicle, such as bicycles. So if you are living in the suburban core cities, if you go to shopping, they have some inconvenience in doing their daily activities unless they have any transportation vehicles. So due to the aging society, this kind of needs will be rising. However, taxis are expensive, buses are something that you have to wait for long and they cannot do the shortcut. And then if you are on bicycle, you will get tired with rain and everything. To solve these issues, we want to provide a free, flexible bus 1 mile comfortably to people. This is our proposal. This is Hubo. So Hubo is cheaper than taxi, flexible than the buses, and comfortable than bicycles. It's a mobility for every category. So distance for the transportation is considered to be 5 kilometers. So this is the non-contact charging roads, and complete auto driving and IoT systems are being utilized. Hubo, you can drive everywhere and you can drive it off everywhere. Like you see here in the station, in huge terminals, that's the hubs. And then concentrically, there are some non-contact charging roads for Hubo only use. Hubos are always on these roads. So we don't consider very congested streets. Instead, we consider roads in which there aren't many congestions for vehicles or the cars. So how to use is that you utilize the smartphone in your terminals and you actually call Hubo to come to your place. It's automatic driving so that you can be to the destination. And then after you used Hubo, the Hubo is going back to discharging roads and continue going on. So the appealing point of Hubo is this non-contact charging roads. The Hubo are always on this non-contact charging roads. We don't have to prepare any parking lots. So charging roads are the parking lot for Hubo. So therefore, we don't have to secure any parking lots, EV station. We are able to operate a number of Hubos. And also, wherever you are, within 5 minutes, the Hubo will come to your place. So that's how we are going to place our non-contact charging roads. So let me talk about the styling design. So the riding time will be 5 to 20 minutes in their proposal. Thus you can stand or sit on the seat on the Hubo. And then for Hubo, most of the structures are under the floor. So the center of gravity is put at a low place. So the total styling is shown here. It's something like public transportation look. So it doesn't have a lot of presence too much. And then because we want to input a number of Hubos, we have the clear polycarbonate for the side so that it doesn't have too much present. So if you are on this Hubo, there are advertisements on this side. For interior, there are some advertisements inside the monitors. And we are going to collect big data so that we can have the data where users are getting on and out. By having this kind of advertisement process and big data process, we are able to lower the usage fees for users. And night time, it is regarded as street lights, so we can prevent some criminals. So we are able to provide some comfortable move for the people. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was the presentation by EBIP from Advanced Institute of Industrial Technology. The second team to present is from the Philippines, Team Hope from Car Design Academy. Please begin your presentation.
Hello, Yes, good morning. I'm Nicole Verona from Team Hope, and I represent my school car design academy. And this is my design concept, Hope EV. Well, the EV name is Hope, an electric-powered emergency vehicle and ambulance. So why did I choose Hope? And why did I choose an ambulance? EVs presented a huge opportunity not only to change lives, but to save lives. I believe that electric vehicles give a unique, we expect them to change our lives, but I believe that they can also save our lives. Electric vehicles give a unique and highly beneficial vehicle architecture because of the lack of internal combustion engines. And in some places, the ambulance need is overridden by cost. So even if they need the vehicle, because of the cost, they don't acquire enough ambulance units for the population. And the Hope vehicle aims to change that. And finally, the EVs are fast, but how do we use speed to benefit the society? The main users are EMTs. EMTs are the ones who give medical treatment immediately to the patients. And upon arriving at the scene of the accident, they will assess the patient's injuries or illnesses and provide emergency treatment. And then they would proceed to the medical facility for faster treatment, for further treatment. And what are their main needs? First one is speed, from point A to point B. Another one is 24-hour service. They need reliability and availability. And the third one is abundant space, and the fourth one is occupant comfort. Of course, another directly affected by this are the patients. Why do they need comfort? Because they need to lessen additional stress factors such as noise, vibrations, etc., which compromise communication and emergency decisions. This is my concept. The sketches are inspired by future technology, natural lighting, and curved glass. For the packaging and new technologies, sustainable energy, of course, we use solar, wind, and hydroelectric energy to further charge the batteries of the vehicle. Batteries and motors that are under the vehicle, and of course, occurs regenerative braking system to recover the energy used on braking, which can later be used to power the vehicle. And another one is a translucent solar cells designed to trap infrared and ultraviolet light while remaining transparent or translucent depending on the settings. Of course, another one to factor in speed would be variable tint panels, which can be used for privacy for the patient, as well as communication with other motorists for a faster, smoother deployment. As you can see, it changes colors depending on the emergency. And of course, there are messages posted on the side and at the front. Finally, another one that needs speed, when the car is trapped in a traffic situation, it can send drones, which can be deployed as a first responder. Priority cases such as cardiac arrests, which need 8-minute response target, and asthma attacks, which have severe breathing difficulties. So in case the vehicle cannot respond in time, it sends a drone to help facilitate a faster response before it goes to the destination. For space and occupant comfort, it offers a 360-degree view, a relaxing interior to reduce stress, and a silent cabin for better communication between EMTs, so they can proceed doing their emergency treatment. And finally, an active suspension, which levels off the body when cornering, which stabilizes the body and virtually eliminates body roll, so you won't move around while treating the patient. And finally, the charging stations are powered by the wind, sun, and hydroelectric power, and wireless charging. So in case of places with which require a considerable amount of space, this feature can be used in developing countries such as Africa, the Philippines, where ambulances are lacking in numbers. So this is wireless charging at the bottom. So it also reduces unit downtime. And finally, for the use situation, four-wheel steering for faster maneuverability, adjustable wheelbase for narrow roads, multiple entry and exit options for faster ingress and egress. The patient can be loaded at the side or at the back, and an opening front fascia for the driver, and the patient auto-load system for easier transportation. Yeah. Okay, finally, in conclusion, EVs are a big part of our future, and I believe this concept gives us a glimpse of how beneficial EVs can be, not only because of renewable energy, but for the tangible benefits it provides, not only in the first world, but in developing countries as well. And I believe that something good will happen as designers can help to imagine this technology in bridging the gap to benefit the whole of humanity. And it is an expectation that we can rely on EVs for the future of transportation. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Amanda, for your presentation.
And that was a presentation by Team Hope from Car Design Academy of the Philippines. The third team to present is SAL, Team SAL from Chiba Institute of Technology. This is Team SAL from Chiba Institute of Technology. Our EV is aimed at the period after 2025. Thanks to the advancement of technology, mobility will take another form. And mobility, when that kind of time comes, can we still think that the mobility is separate from housing? So we thought about integrating this housing and also the mobility. So people in Mongolia, the nomads, they use a mobile home called GER. And we translate that concept to the future solution to update the concept of this mobility. So housing and mobility, we are proposing the concept integrating housing and mobility. So house is called Baishin and EV is called GEL. So this EV uses Omni wheel, so it can move freely back and forth and sideways. So because of that, it is easy for the vehicle to get attached to the house. Each person owns this mobility, and the house part is used as a share house. We have two different approaches in making this problem. So one approach is the approach to the vacant house problem, and the other is a student housing problem. So the student who live in this share house can own one EV, and if the student wants to go somewhere outside his area to participate in an event, he will use this EV to travel. And when he goes to another city, he can use an empty spot, a space belonging to another Baishin in this destination. This EV, the drive unit is housed at the bottom, beneath the floor, so it can have a spacious space on top. And the space can be personalized, and then the owner's tastes can be reflected in the design. So if you like music, you can do it like that, and if you like books, you can use one full wall as a bookshelf, and then if you are minimalist who don't want to own things, you can have this kind of a very simple space. So each owner of the EV can create his or her own unique space. And Baishin, the housing is a share house. So bathrooms, restrooms, and kitchen, those facilities are shared. And then with that, we aim to facilitate communication. And you can seamlessly move into Baishin from your GEL. And another approach is to another social issue. So this is about vacant house issues. So over the past 10 years, the number of vacant houses increased by 1.6 million over 10 years. And then these vacant houses exist more in local areas. And then if we can replace these vacant houses with Baishin and GEL, we can we can have efficient use of the land. So housing and EV, they complement each other. So we have stationed houses, and also the EVs can move between different houses. That is the future mobility we would like to propose. Thank you very much. That was SAL from Chiba Institute of Technology.
Next is the fourth team from Uganda, Magnitude, the Car Design Academy. They are not here outside, so that will be the movie presentation.
Greetings from Uganda. Jonathan Kasumba is my name. I'm a student from the Car Design Academy in Japan. I am pleased to present to you Team Magnitude's concept, Shiba. This is a vehicle that tries to communicate the electric motive in rally. Motorsport is indeed the opportunity that we have in introducing manufacturing in a unique way, that is through 3D printing. The idea of having a vehicle that is directed to a world champion who is a lady, who is locally from Uganda, is an opportunity to embrace and also inspire the youth to actually come together to work on such projects in order that we can solve the problem of urban migration, population increase, and all these things that are connected. With the Shiba, we see the opportunity of developing a platform that can enable us to have different vehicles that can be produced on it. We believe that Shiba is the answer to a solution that Africa has been waiting for and will require in order to give real jobs and also satisfaction and introduce an opportunity in manufacturing for the country. In the future, transportation is going to be more autonomous, and the demand is to have more public transport rather than personal transport. Motorsport will give this opportunity for observing the personal transportation, the fun of driving, the opportunity for steering. In this case, it will be gesture steering. In our case, also looking at suspension, we'll be using a unique system that is electrically induced. This is using a tether that is connected to the tire and the body. When the body is switched on, it is raised. The tires remain in the same place, but then when activated,
That was a presentation made by Magnitude by Uganda Car Design Academy. The fifth team is the team GOAL, Nagoya City University. So we are GOAL from Nagoya City University. What we are going to propose is the one for foreign free traveler, follow personal EP, and follow hotel in which we can put follow inside. So far, the foreign tourists are kind of the style, the tour style, so that it was set places that they visit. However, there is a free travelers, which are so popular now. So they want to get into the local side of the Japan, so that they can provide some originality of the travel that they can experience in Japan. So for the Japanese people, probably it's a normal day of life for them, so that they don't see any value for Japanese people. However, for foreign people, it has a good value. So we want to provide a freedom to tourists so that they can enjoy the new EP in infrastructure. It's a new community, new discovery. It means new community provides new discovery that can be achieved by follow. If you travel, if you go to the airport, arrived, normally they are actually renting the Holo advanced not only the sightseeing sites, but also the residential areas in which the tourists are going to visit and stay at Holo hotels. The traveler does have the dedicated application so that they can choose a place and hotel they want to go into at Holo hotel. So in Holo hotels, they actually communicate with each other as a tourists. And then based upon the communication, they are going to the new tour or the new travel after that. So Holo and Holo Hotel are the bridge of the discovery of the travelers and communication. So Holo does provide a big open window, so only while it being utilized, so that within the Holo hotels you can make small turns. So normally the cars does have something that you want to have as travelers. So we actually the attention from backpack and band one point. So within EP, you can have the free layout. You can switch any of the shelves with the band so that user does have their own layout style as much as they can. So door open so widely so that they can expose their interior design to outside people. So the Holo doesn't provide any exhaust gas, noise, and vibrations. So the Holo can be put inside Holo hotel as it is. So you actually put on the Holo and put in the spiral slope, get into the Holo hotels, so they can do communication in between and spiral slope and also the stairwell. They can communicate each other within Holo hotels. So it means the Holo provides free and rich travel for travelers. And also it will be providing a new discovery of the local tourism resources, which is a benefit for the local people. Okay, so let's look at the example tourist Bob, the foreign artist. Bob is on the Holo and driving riverside. People are doing the baseball game in this kind of area. So the artist Bob want to draw something, picture something by himself. Okay, this is the place that I want to park. So before sun is setting, the Bob Gallery, which is only one in the global, was created as an artist. Bob would like to have new encounters, get into the Holo hotels, and artist Bob goes to some busy areas on the slope, and the people are gathering in the Bob Gallery. This painting is really great. Where did you paint? I was on the riverside of Arakawa. People in Japan play baseball in this riverside. I want to go there and take pictures. So this kind of communication finished. And then after the night goes, and people goes to places in which they look for any new community, and also new travel encounters. So new community, new discovery, which is our proposal, which is EV provided new style of travels. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much for your presentation. Goal from Nagoya City University.
Next, a sixth team is from China. Team 666 from Gwangju Academy of Fine Arts.
Good morning, distinguished committee, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be here to introduce our team's work. Our team's work is EV0. We have 4 group members from 3 different universities and academy. So, part 1, background. Why our car is called the Zero? Because we try to rethink the design of the EV from the problems and opportunities we meet in the cities and try to solve it. We are not just design a vehicle, we try to design a new city system. The urban belts in Asia and China, it reminds me of the urbanization in the past 25 years in China. But the urbanization caused a lot of problems such as space shortage, traffic jams, and the occupation of the lands. So on this side, we need more living space and wider road, and we also need to control the occupation of the space. On the other side, it also caused pollution-induced water shortage, air pollution, heat island effect. On this side, we need better environments, including the air and water. So according to the typical situation of Chinese cities, we need more transportation space, more living space, and better environment. But how to solve this problem?
Well, in China, there are many new satellite cities appears continuously, so it also gives us the opportunity to construct a new kind of city. Actually, with the increasing number of the high-rise, our cities in China has already have the trend of the three-dimensional, but maybe due to the transportation system doesn't match the development of the buildings, so the efficiency in the vertical direction is lower. And we think in the future, the surface of the city should be covered with the greening. And this is our concept of the cities. A single building could be a complete community, and they connect with others with the rails. And in the specific floor is the public space, such as the commercial street or the square. And we also redesigned Crossroad. We called it the mobile ring. This structure can promote the efficiency of the traffic systems. And in these cities, on the ground, you can choose walk, ride a bike, or even boating, as well as in a forest park. So in a three-dimensional city condition, what will the transport looks like?
It is a simple, easy using, and intelligent EV. When it's traveling on a twisty pavement, it can keep us in a comfortable condition. The explosive view shows the structure and the operation principle of the EV. Those are the running stage and the EV and the way to open the door. As for the interior design, it is simple, easy to control, and people inside can enjoy the view at most. Next is the storyboard.
One day, Xiaoming was invited to a wonderful party where in the park under the track. But he was so far from here, so he booked a EV zero through intelligent devices. Then the booking EV which park nearest him traveled down along the track to pick him up. After he got into the car, he set the route to the party, but he found he forgot the gift for his friends in the party, so he had to go downstairs to the shopping mall. So he changed the route and let the EV drive in vertical direction through the elevator. Finally, he took the elevator to the ground and walked through the park to the party. He really enjoyed the party. What a lovely experience. That's all. Thank you.
And that was the presentation by 666 from Ganzhou Academy of Fine Arts. The seventh team is Team Kim Hyun-soo from Tokyo Communication Arts. My name is Kim Hyun-soo, third grade in Tokyo Communication Arts. I would like to present the EV I would like to propose. This is named Hospital Bed Mobility. So I look at 2030, the year 2030. Many technologies will have advanced, and in the medical service area, emphasis will be on stress care, carrying the stress of the people. So what would you feel if you get injured and you cannot move as you wish? So you always need help from other people if you want to go somewhere and do something. I would like to share my personal story about my grandmother. As a child, I spent lots of time with my grandmother. But one day she had a traffic accident, and then since then she lived her rest of her life on the bed. I thought, even if you become a patient, you need to be able to do what you would like to do, without receiving so much help from other people. That's why I developed this idea. This is a typical day of a hospital patient. So the patient is in the hospital. The patient is watching TV, but feeling a little bit bored. But on TV, he saw a very beautiful scenery. So the patient switches his mode from a hospital bed to mobility. Switch the mode, and then he goes outside the hospital. And this EV has a kind of glass shield. So, and then the patient can choose whether he would like to open the shield or close the shield. And if the patient goes out of the hospital, the bed position or seat position can be adjusted. So the patient can sit upright to enjoy the outer scenery. And then on the way back to the hospital, the EV can stop at the battery swapping station. And this is packaged in order to maximize the benefit of EV. So I tried to incorporate as many functions as possible in this compact design. So the size, when it's used as a bed, it's the same as the hospital bed, same size as hospital bed. And when it's a mobility mode, the size is the same as a wheelchair. And then there are many sensors to monitor the condition of the patient. And then this EV is equipped with battery. And to ensure safety of the patient as he gets in the car and gets out of the car, the front part opens instead of the side way. So the concept here is the cushion. This cushion can change its shape depending on the posture of the occupant. And also this cushion can support the body of the patient. Next is the exterior. So I got inspiration from the crib bed for babies. And I put emphasis on the protection of the occupant by attaching some a futuristic feel. So this part usually is kind of a cold and hard kind of image. So I modified the design, and then I finally came to the rendering at the bottom. So this has more kind of round shape and kind of cute and kind of a lightweight kind of image. And this is 3D model. And then I kept in mind that this is still a medical device, but I wanted to give it a more light and then round kind of a shape. In the end, I would like to say that I hope that this concept of mobility bed will be realized as soon as possible to provide better quality of life for hospital patients. This is my presentation. Thank you very much. And that was the presentation by Kim Hyun-soo from Tokyo Communication Arts.
Next presentation, the 8th team is Leon from Italy, IAAD. Could you come to the power, please?
Let you taste the silence, because maybe some of you think he is going to talk or not. This is because for our entire life we are used to live in sounds, noise, and sometimes also confusion, especially in our cities.
So when someone talks to us about an electric vehicle, the first thing we think is, okay, no air pollution. We believe that the greater characteristic of an electric vehicle is silence. This is why we start our presentation, our concept, from choosing the environment. And we choose the most silent city we can imagine, Venice. Venice gives us also the opportunity to the universality, because it is an historical fact that all the cities were born around the water source, a river, like Sumida River, or a lake, sea, and something else. And some other facts, these are some data about the present and future water situation. The core, so we decided to bet on the water. And the core of our concept is to export the beauty of Venice, so the quietness, also a little bit of romanticism, in a new way of transport in all the cities of the world. We started our concept from the symbol of Venice, the gondola. After some other inspiration, and our concept started to take form. Our concept is called Lion, that means levitation vision. And this is a little preview. Instead, this one is the final form. Lion is an autonomous public electric vehicles that you can call it through an app. You only have to put the destination and the number of people, and it will reach you. After we developed the concept of silence, to transform the silence as a respect regard to all the cities where Lyon will be present. So inspired by Overboard of Back to the Future, and also from magnetic levitation trains, we designed Bisso. Bisso is an adaptive magnetic rail that comes up when Lyon is passing, and after goes down when Lyon is gone. These are some technical stuff. The most important are the first part, that is a magnetic brick that allows Lyon to float over the water. And after, thanks to some other technological stuff, the rail can move up and down without exit from the water.
So, as we told in the beginning, Leon is not just for Venice. We designed also other version of the vehicle that could work in more cities all over the world. And we start from an humble silent, and now we are introducing you our silent revolution. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. The presentation was done by Leon from Italy, IAAD. Next presentation is to be made by the team Enudenki from Tokyo Metropolitan University, the 9th presentation. So let me start the presentation from team Enudenki. In our case, we propose a mobility for home delivery. Name is Kubaru. For commercial vehicles compared to the passenger cars, every day those commercial vehicles are used for long hours in a day, so it's going to be most beneficial for EV application. We consider mobility so that we want to provide a proposal for mobility. So it's Izu-Shoto, it's island, Hachijojima, so it has natural resources. So it's close to zero emission environment already exists in this Hachijojima. So for EV, it's really fitting to Hachijojima environment. So zero emission society is something that we can contribute to by utilizing this EV application. So let me explain how you are going to use Kubaru. We have e-can. So e-can can be removed from a vehicle, so that is prepared at houses as well. And then when you ask for home delivery, you can charge e-can and then load that onto there. So if Kubaru goes to your house, the cargo and also the used e-can are provided to the user. The user instead provide a charged e-can to a delivery staff. By having this kind of the transactions without having big batteries, and they don't have to go stop at charging stations, the home delivery service can be provided smoother. And then Kubaru goes back to this parking lot, warehouses during the night in which the usage of the electricity is not really used. So the charging is done during the night time. And then the morning comes. So what can be realized by this Kubaru application? Due to Hachijojima planning, this is the expected usage of energy in a day in Hachijojima, the evening time in which you can have the peak for the consumption for electricity. This time, it actually depends on exhaustible energy, so that Kubaru energy is utilized. So they do not depend on exhaustible energy. So EV power can be utilized so that electricity can be smoothly circulated. So Subaru can be a battery for that Hachijojima itself. So EV is involved in the existing system, not only that day, but also the communication between EV and society can be realized, and the people can be regarded as a trigger to tackle these energy problems. Next, let me explain the styling. The blue container is something that was already put on the mainland, so that can be provided to Hachijojima as it is. So this is a ship in which we can easily put these containers. And then Hachijojima, the roads are narrow and it uphills a lot. So the home delivery staff have to stop so continuously. So we actually put the steepness. So we have the cargo space on the front side. And also we actually thought the bigger wide area opening so that people can get in, get out easily. So we have 10 e-cans. In total, 60 kilos can be driven. Why 60 kilometers can be driven? This is based upon the average driving staff distance, which is 50 kilometers. So there are some problems about load. However, there is a clear benefit so that they do not depend on exhaustible energies. So we propose electricity infrastructure, and also that can be supported by the home delivery system. So Kubaru, not only in Hachijojima, but also in wider areas, we believe that can be utilized. That concludes our presentation by Team Enudenki. Thank you very much for your presentation made by Enudenki by Tokyo Metropolitan University. Next presentation, the 10th presentation will be done by the team EV India from India, National Institute of Design. Could you start, please?
Hello, we are team EV India, and we are here to present our vision and new possibility for electric vehicles. We humans are curious to find new ways for creating our future. If we take a look at this picture, Netherlands has started selling pots of water for human living. By 2030s and 2040s, most of the things around the world would be smart and autonomous. And with the help of technology, humans will have started enhancing their civilization. But we have still the challenges that we face today, like land scarcity, high traffic, and poor air quality. These challenges grow complex day by day as the population increases. To address these issues of rising costs and living, we need to look for ways to expand our living spaces. For what we have studied so far, we feel floating cities are self-sustainable and eco-friendly ways of expansion. Besides creating space for living, these islands contribute positively towards the environment and are also self-governing. By 2040s, most of the jobs that we do today will transform. Today's millennials will then be entrepreneurs, and they will be working while they travel, so-called as the work from anywhere culture.
Okay, so talking about our concept, it is called Ninja. So what is Ninja? Ninja is an electric vehicle which is completely autonomous, which has its own platform that can carry you through water and land. And it can make your journey seamless between land and water, giving you a freedom of mobility and in and around floating cities. It is driven by an electric jet propulsion system. It has true jet propulsion system in the rear end of. It has an anti-skid platform on top of it where a vehicle can park for entry and exit. It has foldable ramps that come out from the rear and front where while running in the water, the hydrophiles keep the Ninja concept raised above the water surface. Ninjas around the floating cities would utilize docking systems as pickup and drop points. These docks would be located around coastal areas for the floating cities. So, explaining a Ninja dock, every dock is designed to store and operate and recharge all the multiple Ninjas simultaneously. So it is self-sustaining structure equipped with solar roof to generate power by itself. Let's talk about how the Ninja concept works. First, your Ninja pod will be booked. Then you'll have to approach to the nearest Ninja dock that is near your city and board the Ninja pod. The pod will come down through an elevator and it will descend to water level. Then you can start your journey. It is an autonomous pod, so you can commute from point A to point B seamlessly. You arrive at your destination, the pod goes up through the elevator, then you climb up, depart, and then you continue your journey smoothly. So here's a small illustration of the entire thing explained. How do you play this? Yeah. So the video shows how a electric vehicle will approach the dock. It will board Ninja pod through the ramps, and then it will descend through the elevators towards the water surface. Everything is being autonomous and will be synced through the central servers. So you can seamlessly go to your destination and then it will become seamless for you.
So now let's see who will be the users for this Ninja. And we have derived that there will be 3 users. So first, the Tanya Anderson, and she's 26 years old, a freelancer, and she believes in minimalism, and she doesn't own any vehicles. So she uses a Ninja pod for public transportation. Now let's talk about Eliza Spark. She's like 25 years old, and she's a freelancer again, and an entrepreneur also. She's using her Ninja pod for like business meetings and her personal mobility also. Now let's talk about the third user, Eric Salmon. He's 32 years old, a TV producer, and he has his own channel, and he uses his Ninja for his profession and for the outdoor trips. Now let's see in detail how the Eric is using his Ninja pod every day. So he books the pod through any digital medium it's available. Now he has an important day today. He has to cover an important event, and he's getting ready. He's preparing for himself for this, and then he commutes through his vehicle to his destination, and then he reaches to the dock. And his pre-booked dock is already available for pod is already available for him, and then he climbs into it, and then Eric. While he's moving towards his destination, Eric prepares himself and getting ready for the shoot. And then he prepares his camera and media devices and all. And finally, what we see here is he's shooting his first live broadcasting of the vertical landing of the astronauts coming from the Mars. So it's a scenario of 2040, so we can expect that astronauts will be coming from the Mars for the first time. So that's the end of the story. And let's now talk about some USPs of the Ninja pod. So obviously, Ninja pod will give you freedom in mobility, seamless journey, of course, a time-saving equipment it is, and it also enhances the work-life balance. Apart from this, we have also imagined the way ahead of the Ninja pods, and it is like it can be also used for logistics purpose, for like patrolling vehicles, and for ambulances also. That's it.
Thank you very much. Indo International Institute of Design チーム EV インディアの皆さんでした。ありがとうございました。さあ皆様いかがでしたでしょうか。以上で全てのプレゼンテーションが終了いたしました。ここで審査員の皆さんは最終審査に入りますため、一度ご退出をお願いいたします。それでは
coming 30 minutes, I would like you to have a panel discussion. The panelists, please come up on the stage. I would like to introduce the moderators. Mr. Ryohei Ikejiri, Project Assistant Professor at Graduate School of Interdisciplinary Information Studies at University of Tokyo. Mr. Ryota Yamamoto, Project Assistant Professor at Graduate School of Interdisciplinary Information Studies at the University of Tokyo. And I would like to hand over to Mr. Ikejiri and Mr. Yamamoto from this point on. Hello everyone, and dear students, and thank you very much for your presentations. So I think the screening will take about 30 minutes. So taking this opportunity, I would like to share with you about the educational program which was done by the Tokyo University. So Ikejiri and Yamamoto are the facilitators, the moderators. So we are specialized in education and studying, and we are working on the task of designing the study environment. So the domain, this has been a discipline for a long time, and there is a hot topic recently. So that is global collaboration in the education or in studying setting. Thanks to the advancement of the IT technology, beyond the country boundaries, different types of educational means can be implemented. And also collaboration between students living in different countries, that kind of a collaboration is made much easier thanks to the technology. And these things are set to provide higher quality education, but how specifically can we promote the global learning? So that's that topic that many scholars, many researchers around the world are working on. So this time, 15 countries, and with some participants from the South America, we can cover all the entire world. So students from many countries participated in this event. And usually the contest or competition is done in a very closed environment, but as this event provides great opportunity for learning with each other, so we took this opportunity to have a joint work between APEB and the University of Tokyo. So this is the aim of this project is to create a platform where the students can enhance their knowledge and then skills through interacting with each other. So I would like to share what kind of new opportunities for learning this project has created, and also we would like to hear from the actual participants in the competition. So I would like to hand over to Yamamoto. Okay, I'm Yamamoto. So this EV design contest, we prepared 2 different study environments. And the first environment is online communication, online environment. And the other environment is a physical, face-to-face communication environment. So first I would like to talk about this SNS communication. So SNS exchange. The students who participated in this event, there were 2 screening sessions. And before the first screening, when they created ideas and concepts, so in order to enhance the quality of the concept, so the students, the participants used SNS to communicate with each other and to receive comments and feedback and advice from different experts. So we operated this platform. Please look at the slide on the screen. So this time 96 teams have participated from all around the world. And then we split them into 3 groups of 20 to 30 teams. And each group made exchange with each other, and then also they receive some advice from the experts. So this can take place on an everyday basis. So the participants introduce themselves briefly online, and they work together. And the other environment is workshop. So after the first and second screening, when the completion level of the work is quite high, we carried out this workshop. This is a face-to-face physical communication. I think it's easy for you to see how this was done. So Bosch, one of our sponsors, provided the venue for the workshop. So the qualifiers for the second round and final round got together, and then the students communicated with each other, and also they received feedback from the experts so that they can brush up their work. So that was the purpose of the workshop. So we held 2 workshops. This photo is from the first workshop, and provided tools, another sponsor, provided the venue for the second workshop after the second screen. So these participants participated in the workshop. So this time it's a panel discussion with the finalists. And today I would like to hear from the panelists about what kind of interactions were made on the SNS and in the workshops. So today we have 4 panelists here, and I would like them to share their own experiences and impressions. And I would like the audience to also interact with the panelists. So we have, one presentation from Uganda was given by video, and then the same person, Mr. Jonathan Kasumba, so he is going to appear later on video as well. So let me introduce the panelists. So Sagai-san from Chiba University, and Urasaki-san also from Chiba. And then next is Risa Watanabe. She's from Nagoya City University, and then Mr. Yuki Eliguchi, also from Nagoya City University. So I would like to hear their comments about their SNS exchange and also workshops. And in order for the audience to better understand what we did, I would like to provide a little more information about SNS explanation. This took place before the first screening, where the participants exchanged their opinion and brushed up their work. And then we provided 3 tasks to the participants. And we received comments, and the participants presented their works. And the first task is self-instruction, introduction, and the second piece is sharing their ideas. So that means the ideas to be presented, to be entered into the contest, especially from the viewpoint of how the idea is linked with the social, cultural, environmental context, and also linked with everyday life. And this contest is a very global contest. And I asked the participants to keep that point in mind. And the third task is exchanged interaction between the participants from different teams. So this is what actually happened online. SNS. This is a post made by Urasaki. Mr. Urasaki. So text and rough sketches were posted, presented by the participants. And I would like like you to see the comment from Jonathan. And this is a question to Jonathan. And the first question we asked Jonathan was, what did you learn by looking at the works created by other teams and from the comments from them? And then we received comments from Jonathan. So I would like you to watch the video. This is answer from Jonathan.
It was impressive seeing teams, the people behind these teams and how they work, especially seeing their process in its raw stage and how it was starting to build up. I learned a lot because I started to see how each team is different. Each individual brings their own experience to their development and their solution, which I liked and I really started to learn from. The comments I also observed that were being communicated was so helpful, and yes, they were empowering to both those who were communicating the suggestions and also those who were developing the idea. It was impressive.
Okay, that was the comments made by Jonathan. And actually, he himself reviewed the product from the other teams. And as you can see here on the screen, seeing what kind of presentation and what kind of products are being provided. This is the one that he prepared for SNS communication. At first, Banto, but scenes were not well explained at first. But in the end, as you've seen today in the screen, what kind of scenes or occasions they are going to be using this product is being put into the presentation. That's how he said he learned from the other presentations. The other question is that through this SNS communication, what will be the motivation you received from that reviewing the other people's?
The SNS interaction allowed me to realize that I shouldn't just focus on one thing. I should also, look at more ideas, develop and evolve those ideas. Yes, until I get to a solution. And not only to rest at one solution. It's always good to explore as much as possible. That is something that I carry away with this particular interaction. Very, very interesting indeed.
So Jonathan actually was working by himself alone. So through SNS, like for the other members who had some members, so he was inspired by the people who are working on the same project. And then the question to the other team for SNS interactions is the question to SAL. So what did you receive? What did you learn from the comments you are given by the other teams? And then what did you learn from the comment that was given to the other teams? Okay, our proposal was share house and car integration. But at first, not only the personal space, we thought it was a shared car, so that both house and car are to be shared. So we said times share cars, times did share cars, they are doing very well. So how about that cannibalization? So that was a trigger. That was a comment that we thought that was a comment. That was expert comment from the expert professional? Yes. So what did you learn from the comment that were given to the other teams then? Yes, the comments from the other teams. I'm sorry, I should say clearly. So listening to the comments made to the other teams, how did you learn from the comments given to the other teams? Well, our proposal, we didn't receive a lot of comments from the other teams. So what kind of comments were made to the other teams? Something that we actually referred to a lot, so that we can consider whether our direction was correct or not. Not only you receive comments, but also if you are listening to the comments given to the other teams, that was kind of the yardstick so that you can check your standpoint. Okay, so not only SNS interactions, let's look at the workshop aspect. As I said earlier, in the workshops, you've received a lot of experts' professional comments, and also the other teams provided you comments. So for the goal, so this is the workshop picture for goal. So that's how you are talking to the other teams, and you are talking to the members in the executive project committee, and you made a presentation, and you received feedback from the experts and professionals. Here's a question to go. In the workshop, who provided what kind of opinions to you at first in the workshop? Yes, in your team. So it's a hollow EV plus EV hotel for foreign travelers. So at first, for travelers, we thought about EV for travelers. So you can pick up or and get in the EV and drive, and after you drove, you leave the EV out on there. And then Mr. Yamashita, the chairperson, said, so the first idea was to enrich communication or to contribute to development of the local tourism industry. So we were pointed out, we try to cover a lot of items. So you should narrow down the topics. So not only EV mobility, what we can do from EV, what the user or tourist is looking for from EV. That's why in the end, we want to enrich communication between travelers through ED. So that was our focused topic. So you narrowed down your topics as such. Yes, thank you very much. The second question is that through these advices and interaction through the workshops, and there may be some overlapped comments made to you, but what will be the impact you received from those comments when you consider final design? Okay, the feedback we received at workshops, what we want to do through this EV was well considered. We wanted to enrich communication through our EV proposal. This is our goal to present. So final idea was the tourists' experience or something they achieved, they received, that could be shared with the other tourists in the hotel so that they can have more communication between tourists in the hotel. So narrowing down this idea into that, and we want to enrich the tourist industry that has been the aspect that we tended to drag out from. So we maybe derailed from our own concept, which is the enriched communication through EV. So we confirmed our team members so that we should only focus on enriched communication by EV, not looking at more development of the tourism resources. The other point, due to time restrictions, we asked only 2 team members to be on the stage. However, there are some other teams who are on the finalist today, and I really want to introduce something. I've shown you the picture earlier, not this one. I didn't prepare any picture. Italy, Leon team. Actually, in Italy and Japan, they didn't join this workshop, but with Skype, they have done communication. They actually joined the communication through Skype, so that comments were given to Italy team from international workshops. So I just wanted to put this workshop was quite international. Thank you for your opinions and feedback. Based upon your comments, let me summarize here. So as Ikejiri-san said earlier, this is the design contest in which you have, so design contest is combined with this kind of the communication interaction between people. The reason to that is that for the SNS interactions, your concept and your products are to be compared with the other team's products, so that you can understand what is your originality, what's different from the others. That's something that you should be able to enjoy as a benefit. Secondly, as was mentioned by a member from SAL, within this contest, what's the important point that you should focus on, not only from your perspective, but listening to the perspective from the others, so that you can visualize your own focus better through this kind of communication. And as was said from Magnitude, who was only one participant, Jonathan. So Jonathan thought, he believed that there was somebody working on this total contest on the other side of his place. He was able to be inspired by that. So, and also through these workshops, they can narrow down their own originality without having any unnecessary aspects in it. Not only Japan teams, but also overseas teams joined, so the horizontal aspects of the communication between teams beyond countries were able to be achieved. So, in conclusion, for the normal competition, actually you individual participate in that competition, and you want to beat other teams. So communication is not something that is being shared in the normal contest.
So this kind of culture of cooperation has not been fully established yet. But when you design something and when you create something, working alone is often very difficult, challenging. And if you can communicate with people with different cultural backgrounds and so on, so that will help you be more creative. And then I think this design contest was a great opportunity for the participants to learn those things. So the key word for this project is the creating the culture of competition and collaboration. And I think this design contest was a good demonstration of that culture building. And we, as scholars, we are interested in how to design and how to create that kind of environment. So we would like to keep working on that. So it's been a very much limited time, but I hope that you understand what we have done in this project. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ikejiri, Mr. Yamamoto, and the student panelists. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand.